Good morning, children. Children, we have done the question answers of chapter 16, that is Gupta Empire. Children, today we are going to start the new lesson, the era of Harsha. And we all know that after the Gupta dynasty, the new dynasty came into being. And that time, the country was disintegrated, means it was divided into number of small kingdoms. And out of that small kingdoms, one of the kingdom was Vardhaman dynasty, which was increasing their power day by day. And their first ruler was Prabhakar Vardhana. And you will see that whichever rulers came, they were given this, they added this Vardhana. So the first ruler of Vardhaman dynasty was Prabhakar Vardhana, who ruled from 580 to 605 CE. He conquered many places and established a large kingdom. He was succeeded by his son. After Prabhakar Vardhana, he was succeeded by Rajya Vardhana from 1605 to 1606 to the throne of Thaneshwar. Where is this Thaneshwar? In Haryana. Where you will get this Thaneshwar? Let me show you this. Where is this Thaneshwar? See, here is your Thaneshwar. Sorry, this is not Thaneshwar. It is near to Punjab and Haryana. Okay. You will get Thaneshwar here. So it is in Haryana. He ruled for a very short period, Rajyavardhana. Shashank, the ruler of Bengal, got him killed. Means, who killed Rajyavardhana? Shashank, the ruler of Bengal. Now, after Rajyavardhan, he was succeeded by Harshvardhan. First was Prabhakar Vardhan, after that Rajyavardhan, and after Rajyavardhan was Harshvardhan, who became the king in 1606 CE as the king of Sthanvishvara, now in Thaneshwar. As I told you, Thaneshwar, it is in Haryana in 1606. He was only 16 years old at that time. And we know, if we want to know the past history of Harshvardhan, then we have some sources. Now let's see what are those sources. There are 4 sources. First is contemporary inscriptions, coins, and some rock edicts. Some inscriptions, some coins which were used during that time. From there we can get some information and some rock edicts. Second is travel accounts of Hind Tasang. He was a Chinese traveler who visited during Harshvardhan, and he had number of travel, and in his travel accounts he has mentioned about Harshvardhan. Harshvardhan was also known as Harsha. The third is Harsha Charitra, written by Banabhat. Harsha Charitra. That means about Harshvardhan. It has been written over there by Bana Bhatt. Fourth is your Priyadarshika, Naganand and Ratnavali, written by Harsha himself. He was a great scholar and he himself has written all these. This Ratnavali, Naganand, Priyadarshika. So please note it down, children, that which books were written by Harsha. Priyadarshika, Naganand, and Ratnavali. Right? So, up to here, what we have learned, that after Gupta dynasty, Vardhaman dynasty came into being. The first ruler was Prabhakar Vardhana. After he ruled for many years, after that he was succeeded by his son Rajavardhana, who ruled only for few years, 605 to 606. After that he was killed by the ruler of Bengal, whose name was Shashank. And after that, Rajavardhan was succeeded by Harshvardhan, who became the king in 1606 at the age of 16. Now, what are those sources? Four sources: contemporary inscriptions, coins, and rock edicts. Then, travel accounts of Chinese traveler Hintasang, in which he has mentioned about Harshvardhan. Next is Harsha Charitra, which is written by Bana Bhatt, and the books written by Harsha himself. What are the name of the books? Priyadarshika, Naganand, and Ratnavali. Please underline it, children, because Harsha himself was a great scholar and learned person. And he used to give patronage to the scholars, poets. So this is about the introduction. Now next we come to Harshvardhan's empire, how he used to rule, what was his strategies, how he used to divided his empire. And listen, children, one thing is that you will find here some of the common things which was followed by Harshvardhan, that was very much common, or you can say was very similar to Gupta dynasty. Means the division of the large provinces into bhuktis, and then into your village panchayats, all was been very similar to Guptas. Harshvardhan ruled from 1606 to 1647. For a long period he ruled, and he was very famous for some of his contribution, which we will study. His empire included present Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, and Bihar. You can say almost the northern plains area, you can say. King was very powerful. He was the head of the judicial and civil administration. He was also commander-in-chief of his army and led his forces in war. He used to lead his army by him. That means he was a great commander, and he used to lead the army and give directions to the army himself. His administration was quite similar to that of Gupta's. He had a council of ministers who used to advise him, but the actual decision was in the hands of king. His ministers was known as Sachiv or Amatyas. Please underline it, children. Sachiv or Amatyas. So, who were called Sachiv or Amatyas? You can get a question like this, that who were Sachiv or Amatyas? The ministers under Harshvardhan was known as Sachiv or Amatyas, right? The provinces was known as Bhuktis or Desh, which was same as that of Gupta Empire. These were again divided into Vishyas or Pradesh, and Uparika was the head of the province. So province was known as Bhuktis or Desh, and who used to look after the province? Who was the head of the province? Uparika. And what was his, again after provinces which were known as Bhuktis or Desh, it was again divided into Vishyas or Pradesh. His work was supervised by Uparika Maharaj or Kumar Matya, who was normally a prince. His work was supervised by Uparika Maharaj. That means Uparika used to assist Oparika Maharaj. And normally the prince used to hold that post. There were also village panchayats, which was headed by Gramik. And what was the duty of the Gramik? To look after the needs of villages. There were other officials also to help the Gramik. Harsha was a benevolent ruler. He built temples, chaityas, viharas, dharamshalas, schools, etc. So, Harsha, who was a benevolent ruler. Now, what does this benevolent ruler means? It means very friendly, very kind, very friendly. And he used to think about the people. That's why he built dharamshalas, schools, chaityas, viharas, and all that. Nalanda University was granted the income received from 200 villages for its development and maintenance. That time, Nalanda University was having a great fame and glory, and foreigners used to come and study here. They used to gain the knowledge. That time, Vikramshila, Nalanda University was very popular and very famous. And he used to give grants for its development, for its maintenance, for its better running. And the income which was received from 200 villages, that was all been invested over there. So, as he himself was a great scholar, a learned person, he used to understand the importance of education. And that's why he was very much dedicated in the field of education. He used to understand. And that's why he gave lots of patronage to the scholars, to the learned persons. So, children, this is all about it. In my next video, we will continue this lesson. So, in my next topic, we will discuss about the religion, social and economic condition of Harshvardhan Empire. Children, please go through the video, and whichever lines or whichever objective questions I have indicated there in my video, please go through it very carefully, underline it in your book, and learn it. So, children, go through it and learn all those points which I have indicated. Thank you, children.